What is up, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here from the Back to 12 podcast, breaking down the Midwest region of the NCAA Tournament, yet the second Big 12 school to be a 1 seed, and I am talking about the Kansas Jayhawks, who not only won a share of the regular season Big 12 title, but also won the Big 12 tournament title. Let's start out with them in the 1-16 matchup, where the Jayhawks will face off against the winner of a play-in game between two Texas schools in Texas Southern and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Regardless of who wins that play-in game, I'm taking the Jayhawks. Next, at the 8-9 matchup, you have one of the best defenses in the country, the second-ranked defense according to KenPom, in the Aztecs of San Diego State, taking on one of the hottest teams in the country in the Creighton. Really, Doug McDermott's dad has done a great job right there. And I know that's a long-winded way to say their nicknames, but hey, that's how I feel about it. I'm still taking San Diego State in this one just because of that defense. I think that they are electric, and we know that defense travels even when your offense might not in the NCAA tournament. So I have the Aztecs moving on to the second round. Now, Iowa comes in as the 5 seed in this region. They face off against the Spiders of Richmond. I know a lot of people like the Hawkeyes, and I do too to some degree, but it would not shock me here if Richmond wins this. I will pick the Hawkeyes to win, but that game is going to be super duper close. As for my first upset in the Midwest region, I am taking the South Dakota State team to beat Providence in the 4-13 matchup. South Dakota State does not get a lot of recognition, but the Jackrabbits are absolutely electric. I think they beat the Friars and move on to the second round. As for the 6-11 matchup, you've got the LSU Tigers, who have no coach now. Well, at least an interim coach, I should say, with Will Wade getting fired due to 8. You heard that right. NCAA level 1 violations. Just unbelievable. They will face off against the Big 12's Iowa State Cyclones. Give me Iowa State, who has a top 10 defense in the country. I probably would have picked Iowa State to lose against virtually every other 6 seed in the tournament, but with all the controversy and stuff going on behind the scenes with the Tigers, give me the Cyclones. That is an up-and-coming program in the Big 12. As for the 3 seeded, it's the Wisconsin and Colgate matchup, and I should go back. Providence is the 4 seed. South Dakota State is the 13 seed. I have South Dakota State winning that. They are the 13 seed. They'll move on. Wisconsin against Colgate. Remember, Colgate almost won last year in the first round. I don't think that's the case this year. I think Davis gets it done for the Badgers, and they move on to the second round. As for the 7-10 matchup, you've got the Trojans of USC against the Hurricanes of Miami. I'm going with the Trojans. Remember, Mobley's brother's out there, and he is a very good player. Now, I don't know how far they go in this tournament, but I do think they make it at least to the second round. As for the 2 seed in the Midwest region, it is the Auburn Tigers, and they will face off against Jacksonville State. Auburn is really one of the top teams in the country, but they scare me to death. When it comes to them on the road, they are abysmal away from the friendly confines down there in Auburn, Alabama. I do think they beat Jacksonville State. Let's start from the bottom in the 2-7 matchup and work our way up to the 1-8. I do think Auburn wins and advances to the Sweet 16. That'll be a great job by Bruce Pearl. As we all know, he went to the Final Four just a couple years ago in 2019, ended up losing on a questionable foul call on Kyle Guy in the corner, but Auburn does return to the Sweet 16. As for the 3-11 matchup, I am taking Wisconsin to beat Iowa State in this one. The defense of Iowa State will be great, but Wisconsin likes to muck it up as well. They're not a flashy team. They'll back you down in the post, and I think Davis just really handles business against the Cyclones in the round of 32. As for the 13-5 matchup, give me it. I'm going South Dakota State to beat Iowa, and South Dakota State will advance to the Sweet 16. Some might call me crazy, but that Jackrabbits team is absolutely electric, can beat you at all 3 levels in the half court, whether we're talking about 3, mid-range, and in the post. They are great at shooting the basketball and will catch people off guard with how athletic they are. They're not the most athletic team in the world, but I don't think people give them enough credit. That is one of the double-digit seeds I think makes the Sweet 16. I have the Jackrabbits upsetting the Hawkeyes of Iowa, who just won a Big Ten title, but give me the Jackrabbits in that one. Now, San Diego State against Kansas. Kansas has played some of the best defenses in the country in the Big 12, has 8 of the top 30 Ken Palm adjusted defensive teams in the country come from the Big 12. I think Kansas handles business after they had to face off against Texas Tech in the Big 12 tournament final. Now, Kansas gets a little bit of a break in this scenario where they will face the 13 seed in the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. I'm going to go with Kansas to advance to the Elite Eight in that matchup. And now we have Wisconsin against Auburn. Give me Wisconsin in this one. I think this is where the road woes bite Auburn in the ass. And really, hey, I like Wisconsin and what they do, but let's be honest about it. There's no reason they should have been the highest 3 seed, which they were. They were the 9th overall team in the tournament. Now you have Kansas and Wisconsin, and I went chalk in my East region, and I have a Big 12 team in the Final Four. Make it 2. I've got Kansas winning the Midwest region and going down to New Orleans and trying to win another national championship under Hall of Fame head coach Bill Self. Now, do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments below if you think maybe I went a little too chalk, even though I did have a 13 seed in the Sweet 16. I don't know a lot of other people that are going to do that, but let me know down in the comments below if you think Kansas, maybe Auburn or Wisconsin will end up in the Final Four out of the Midwest region. As always, this is the place to be when it comes to March Madness news. I'm making videos every day about the tournament to keep you up to date about the latest going on during March Madness. I'm RC Maxfield. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn it from red to gray. And hey, we'll be here all month long. And by the way, I do know that the subscribe button is right here, by the way. I just wanted to let y'all know. Again, this is the Back to 12 podcast. Appreciate y'all listening. Be sure to hit that big red button.